You guys started this podcast to talk about your favorite bands and mental health, which I believe is my first initial message to you guys was how I thought this was so important because I don't think it's something we talk enough about, especially in these genres of music, which is punk and hardcore. And it is getting easier for people to talk about. But then if you get on Instagram, some people are like, oh, I got mental health issues. It's almost like a hashtag now in some ways where
Yeah.
we're not really dealing with it. We're not really talking about it, but we can use it as kind of an excuse. So what has been the reception from, getting bands to talk about their mental health can be a kind of a task, and you guys have seemed to do it well. Like you've gotten bands to open up to you guys and talk about it. So how's it been with the bands? And then my second question would be, what has been the reception from just people?
Bands surprisingly has been really easy. I think because Steve always asks the question, like, what advice can you give people who are struggling and like dealing with, mental health issues and stuff? And they just kind of like go. But I think it was the first time we interviewed John Ryan, and we start the show just like, oh, hey, how's it going, man? How you doing? Whatever. And he just looked into the camera and was like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not doing good at all. And we were like, holy shit, like we didn't expect it, because like most of them are kind of like after probably like an hour or something, they open up and start like talking more. But like he was just right off the rip started talking about his eating disorder, about his depression, about just everything. And it's been pretty easy. And then Steve can get into like how people have received it.
Yeah, I mean, just piggybacking off of what you said too, I think something that like me and Batch go in with like the interviews and stuff is just very natural, and kind of like, I think understanding that we find this baseline of like just understanding we're human beings, and we open up about a lot of the lyrics and break down the lyrics and how like they represent to us. So I think that kind of breaks the ice maybe subconsciously with the bands, like when we talk about like, hey, that lyric really meant like this to me in this sense, and I've talked to other people who can relate. So I feel like that subconsciously opens up their mind to like, wow, like, we're talking about something I wrote that I went through, and now you're relating to it. So they kind of feel that connection. And then, yeah, when we get to the end and, we ask the questions of like, hey, what tools can you give to people suffering or just going through like a hard day? And I think that's why it becomes like, easy and fluent, unless we get someone like JJR who can just like literally come on and be himself. So I just wanted to piggyback off that. But as far as like the reception from other people, it's been amazing. Just the fact that people are like, hitting us up and saying thank you. Bandmates after the interview, immediately, literally right after we close out a Zoom, they'll be like, hey, like, honestly, I haven't said that about anybody, like, or to anybody. So like, thank you for doing that. It's just been like, it's been really mind blowing and beautiful to see that people are like, accepting the fact that they're a human being. And it's been really also really fucking cool to see bands that we like look up to and go see talk about the same shit that we go through and be like, whoa, you're fucking sad too. Like, I know you write about it, but like you're not just like some superstar. So it's been really cool, man, if that answers your question.